next question. How do you manage risks of onboarding? So bring new customers on board in this current environment. And that's an interesting question. I think we'll start with Robert on that one.
Sorry, one of the questions popped up on my screen here. I had to get rid of that. So we're pretty efficient. And look, we're a large bank. We're very efficient in terms of onboarding customers. We're very electronic focused. We don't do in-person closing calls. It's all by phone, conference calls. So we're, and clients are actually demanding, and our clients are certainly demanding more efficiency around closing, and their time is valuable. So I think that's pretty common in a lot of the sectors of this space. And the other part of that is, the third party providers and working closely with them and making sure we've got the right vendors on board so we can close in an efficient way for our client with a trustworthy third party client. Or vendors.
Yeah, we kind of have two big points in the owner phone space. One, in terms of the transaction itself, the logistics of going to see the aircraft, not our part specifically, but in terms of the vendors in the transaction, like Robert said, the logistics of going to the aircraft to do the pre-buy, depending on the airline and quarantines and whatnot across the country, those have impacted the transaction process. Then on our side, nothing's really changed from doing everything electronically. We were already moving in that direction anyway. What has changed is while everyone is working from home, we have an infrastructure that now is also reliant on people's home Wi-Fi. And I know how much my Netflix buffers when I'm trying to watch it. So trying to do a closing can get a little more complex in that regard too.
Yeah, I'd probably add to that in terms of just the logistics of the physical on-site things. Certainly internationally, it becomes even more of an issue, with certain countries basically having to quarantine anyone going in for a certain period of time. It just becomes very difficult to manage those challenges. And I think that's probably the key bottleneck that I'm hearing from, when I'm trying to get deals closed, is basically along those lines of getting the engineer to, whether it's to fly from Bournemouth in the UK across to the continent to look at an aircraft, or vice versa. It becomes a real challenge in terms of the other parts of the puzzle, in terms of legal counsel, again, because there are different jurisdictions that we have to deal with. So that's also an issue, less so because, again, whether you're practicing English law, New York law, or Swiss law, you can still work from home. But those sorts of logistics of the transactions are certainly areas that are, make things a little bit slower. But the key bottleneck right now is really the on-site inspections.
I think that's a really key point. A lot of us are focused on things like the civil airliner industry, looking at 90% reduced travel, and that looks so awful compared to our industry's performance. But at the same time, all of us on this call, I'm sure, use commercial airlines to do our business on business aviation side.